7. Cruise fees senior cruisers should question before they pay. Most cruise passengers see a charge on their folio and assume it is correct and non-negotiable. For senior cruisers managing a fixed income, that assumption can cost real money. Cruise lines add dozens of fees across a sailing, and not all of them are as automatic or as final as they appear on a printout. Here are 7 cruise fees that senior cruisers have every right to question before they pay, and exactly what to do about each one. Number 1. The automatic daily gratuity when service was genuinely poor. Automatic gratuities on most major cruise lines run $18 to $22 per person per day and are added to your folio every single day of the sailing. Most passengers treat them as fixed and non-negotiable. They are not. Every major cruise line allows passengers to visit guest services and request a review of automatic gratuities. This is not widely advertised, but it is a written policy at Carnival, Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, MSC, and most other lines. Adjustments can be made upward, downward, or in specific cases removed entirely for individual service categories. The situation where questioning gratuities is most appropriate: when you received consistently poor service from specific staff and documented the issue with supervisors during the sailing. The situation where it is not appropriate: reducing gratuities simply to avoid the charge while receiving full service throughout the trip. A couple who experienced consistently poor service from their assigned dining staff for 5 consecutive evenings documented each incident with the head waiter and guest services. On the final day, they requested a partial adjustment to the dining portion of their gratuity. Guest services reviewed the documented complaints and made the adjustment. If you experienced genuine, documented service failures, visit guest services on the second to last day. Bring specific details: what happened, which staff member was involved, and whether you reported it at the time. Be respectful and factual. Cruise lines take documented service issues seriously because they affect the crew member's record, not just your folio. The next fee is one that appears on folios automatically and is worth reviewing every single time before you disembark. Number 2. Minibar and in-cabin charges you did not authorize. Minibar charges are among the most consistently disputed items on cruise ship folios, and for good reason. On ships with stocked minibars or in-cabin beverage and snack selections, these items are tracked by weight sensors or inventory counts taken at the start and end of each sailing. The system is not perfectly accurate. Cabin stewards and maintenance crew who enter your cabin during the sailing occasionally disturb minibar items. A bottle moved to clean beneath it, a can shifted to reach an electrical outlet, a cleaning product accidentally displacing a minibar item. Any of these can register as consumed. The passenger receives a charge for an item they never touched. This is documented frequently enough that experienced cruisers check their folio specifically for minibar charges, even when they never open the minibar once. A senior passenger reviews her folio on the second to last day and finds a $14 charge for 2 minibar beverages she is certain she never consumed. She goes to guest services, states clearly that she did not purchase or consume those items, and asks for the charges to be removed. Guest services removes both charges without further dispute. This is a routine interaction that guest services handles multiple times on every sailing. Review your folio at least 48 hours before disembarkation, not in the final hour of the last day. On most ships, your folio is available through the cruise app or through the television in your cabin. Look specifically for minibar or in-cabin charges. If you see something you did not purchase, go to guest services immediately with a folio in hand and be specific about which charges are incorrect. Most of the time, the charge is removed on the spot. The next fee involves something you paid for before you boarded and may not have received as described. Number 3. Shore excursion charges when the tour was significantly changed. When you book a shore excursion through the cruise line, you are purchasing a specific experience, a particular set of sights, a described duration, a specific level of transportation, and guide service. If the excursion you actually receive is meaningfully different from what was advertised and sold to you, you have grounds to request a partial or full refund. This situation is more common than most passengers realize. Weather closures that eliminate key sites, transportation substitutions from a comfortable coach to a much smaller vehicle, shortened durations due to operational issues, or last-minute guide changes that significantly affected the experience all represent alterations to what was paid for. Cruise lines have refund policies for excursion changes, but these credits are not automatically applied to your folio. You have to ask for them directly. A senior passenger booked a half-day guided heritage tour at $89 per person. The tour was shortened by nearly an hour due to a local event, and 2 of the 4 listed sites were inaccessible. She returned to the ship, went directly to the shore excursion desk, and described specifically what was different from the advertised description. After reviewing the situation with the port agent, the cruise line issued a $35 per person shipboard credit. When an excursion falls significantly short of what was advertised, go to the shore excursion desk as soon as you return to the ship. Do not wait until the last evening. Describe what was different from the description, which sites were skipped, how much shorter it ran, and what was substituted or altered. Keep your excursion confirmation document so you can compare what was advertised against what actually happened. Now here is a fee that senior cruisers pay in advance and rarely think to question, but have every right to. Number 4. Wi-Fi package charges when the connection was consistently unusable. Wi-Fi packages on cruise ships now cost $25 to $35 per device per day. On a 10-day sailing, that is $250 to $350 per device. What many senior cruisers do not know is that if the ship's internet service was consistently unreliable or unusable during the sailing, there is a legitimate process for requesting a partial credit. Cruise ship internet performance is logged by the ship's technology team. Periods of satellite outage, poor speeds due to weather or ocean routing, and complete connectivity failures are recorded. If you experience consistent problems, particularly during open ocean sea days when satellite coverage is most limited, that documented history supports your request. The requirement that matters most: you must report the problem during the sailing, not after you get home. If you contact guest services or visit the internet help desk while you are experiencing the problem, you create a record that the system can verify. If you wait until the final day or until after disembarkation, the request is far harder to process and less likely to succeed. A retired couple purchased a 2-device Wi-Fi package at $29 per device per day. For 3 consecutive sea days, the connection was too slow to load a basic web page. On the second day of the outage, they reported the problem to guest services and logged the complaint. On the final day, they returned to request a credit for the 3 unusable days. Guest services confirmed the outage in the ship's logs and applied a credit for those days to their folio. If your Wi-Fi package is not delivering usable service, report it to guest services the same day. The cruise line cannot apply a credit for a problem they were never told about while the ship was sailing. The next fee is one that surprises senior cruisers who book specialty restaurants and find unexpected charges waiting for them. Number 5. Specialty dining cover charges when the experience was not what was represented. Specialty restaurants on cruise ships charge between $35 and $75 per person for a premium dining experience. When the experience falls significantly short of that standard, not a minor personal preference, but objectively poor food, genuinely poor service, long unacceptable waits, or a menu meaningfully different from what was described, that charge is worth raising directly with management. Cruise lines take specialty dining complaints seriously because their premium restaurants represent their brand reputation. A concern raised on the evening of the meal or the morning after is handled by restaurant management. A concern raised on the final sailing day is handled by guest services. Either conversation is worth having. What consistently fails to produce results is complaining after you have left the ship and returned home. A couple dines at a specialty steakhouse at $55 per person. Both steaks arrive cold. When they mention it to their server, the response is dismissive. Replacement steaks take 45 minutes. Before leaving the restaurant that same evening, they ask to speak with the restaurant manager. They describe exactly what happened and when. The manager removes both cover charges from their folio immediately. This is a standard response to a legitimate, specific complaint raised at the time of the problem. If a specialty dining experience was genuinely below what a reasonable person would expect for the price, speak to the restaurant manager that same evening. Be specific about what failed. If the manager cannot resolve it, go to guest services the next morning. The charge was added to your account electronically, and it can be adjusted just as easily. The next fee appears on many folios and catches senior cruisers off guard because it looks like it belongs there, even when it does not. Number 6. Beverage charges outside your package that were never disclosed. Beverage packages on cruise ships cover a specific list of drinks up to a specific price ceiling. Items that exceed the package limit, certain premium spirits, specific bottled wines, or specialty cocktails priced above the package maximum are charged to your folio for the amount above the package level. The disclosure policy for these overages varies significantly between ships and between bars. Senior cruisers with a mid-tier or premium beverage package sometimes discover charges on their folio for items they believe were fully covered. If those charges were applied without a clear explanation at the time of ordering, meaning the bartender or server did not say, "That item exceeds your package level, you will be charged the difference," there is a reasonable basis to question the charge at guest services. A passenger with a premium beverage package orders what she believes is a covered wine at a specialty restaurant. The wine is priced above the package ceiling. No one tells her at the time of ordering. She discovers a $12 per glass charge on her folio the following morning. She brings the folio to guest services and explains that she was not informed the wine fell outside her package coverage. Guest services reviews the bar's disclosure policy and removes 2 of the 3 charges, acknowledging that the package limit was not communicated at the point of sale. Before your last full day at sea, review your folio line by line for beverage charges. If a charge appeared without disclosure at the point of ordering, bring the specific folio entries to guest services and ask for a review. Be clear that the issue is the lack of disclosure, not simply the charge itself. Number 7. Port fees. When the ship missed or substituted a port. Every cruise fare includes a line item for port taxes and fees. These charges represent what the cruise line pays to local port authorities for docking rights, and they are passed directly to passengers. When a ship skips a scheduled port due to weather, mechanical issues, or safety concerns, most cruise lines apply a credit for those port fees. But you need to confirm it was applied, and in some cases, you need to ask. The situation becomes less straightforward when a port is substituted rather than simply skipped. If the original itinerary included a port with a higher fee structure than the substitute port, passengers may be entitled to a credit for the difference. Cruise lines do not always volunteer this information. Passengers who ask are more likely to receive it than passengers who assume it has been handled. A couple sailing a 7-day Caribbean itinerary has 2 ports skipped due to a weather system. They review their final folio on board and see that port fees were still charged in full. They ask guest services before disembarking whether port fee credits have been applied for the missed ports. The response is that credits will be processed after the sailing. They request the amount in writing before they leave the ship. Both credits are applied to their card within 2 weeks. On any sailing where a port is missed or substituted, ask guest services before disembarkation whether port fee adjustments have been applied to your account. Get the amount and timeline in writing before you leave the ship. Following up by phone after disembarkation is possible, but consistently takes longer than confirming it before the gangway closes. None of these fees require a confrontation. Everyone requires only that you know your rights, document what happened at the time, and ask a specific question of a specific person before you leave the ship. Cruise lines train their guest services teams to handle legitimate disputes quickly. The passengers who walk away without a credit are almost always the ones who never asked. Subscribe to Cruise Smart for practical, honest cruise advice every week, and leave a comment below with the words Cruise Smart so we know you are part of this community.